incredible story about the power of kindness. An author from Bellingham is releasing a new book detailing her incredible journey to ride her bicycle, get this, across the country.
Pretty incredible, right? Yeah, so along the way, she met people in different parts of the U.S. and was surprised by the kindness of strangers and the emotional pinch of traveling through the state that she grew up in. And joining us this morning, Heidi Beierle, the author of Heidi Across America. Heidi, how are you this morning?
I'm doing very well. Delighted to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, nice to have you with us. And what a journey you have had. You rode your bicycle from the West Coast to Washington, D.C. So what inspired you to pedal across America?
Well, it was a little bit of a surprise. I was feeling very down in my life, and I had gone back to school. It was a recession, and thought that school would kind of offer me this ticket to get myself unstuck and into the life that I wanted to be living. And it kind of made it worse. And so as I was kind of lamenting the sad state of my life at the end of the first term, I had this email. And I really thought that the thing that I needed to do to get myself unstuck or just feel better would be to spend the whole summer riding my bike. So I get this email from my mom that was like, hey, there's this historic roads conference in Washington, D.C. in September. Your uncle's there. We could go and hang out. And I thought, well, that's lovely. But then I thought, well, I could ride my bike out there and that would be okay. And that it was kind of a lark. So I was like, what a good idea. I'll spend the summer riding my bike to this conference. And so that was what I did. The personal journey is really what is in this book. It's not the research part of it that I did going across the country was part of my thesis, but there was so much more to the journey than the research. And so that's what the story is about.
Well, let's talk more about that personal journey, Heidi. What lessons did you learn along the way, and how did it contribute to the writing of this new book?
Well, the biggest lesson was that I had no idea how taxing it would be to do all of the things that I was doing, this research. I was blogging on a daily basis. And by the time it got really hot in the middle of the country, I was just exhausted. And it really took, I think, pushing myself to this extreme of feeling like I'm all alone, I'm in this dangerous situation. And, you know, I'm not very resourced to realize that there actually were a lot of people there cheering me on and helping me out, and that I wasn't nearly as alone as I thought I was, that there were actually a lot of people there supporting me, excuse me, and that really helped me come to understand what it meant to love me and who I was and the remarkable things that I had done.
Just incredible. Heidi, how long did this take you to complete total?
I planned to leave or to get to Washington, D.C. in 80 days, and I did get to Washington, D.C. in 80 days, but it wasn't the linear fashion that I thought it would be.
Some little bumps along the way, maybe unexpected bumps.
Definitely. Yes.
So, you know, after hearing your story, maybe reading your book, some people, they might be inspired to go on their own journey across the country, that sort of thing. What tips do you have for people who might be thinking about a multi-day bicycle journey?
Well, my first tip would be, don't necessarily feel like you have to ride across the country in order to have a really remarkable experience. That, you know, a shorter trip that is more manageable in scope might be actually just the thing that you need. And let's see, what else? I think don't overprogram yourself. That was definitely one of the things I learned. Like, make sure that you give yourself enough spaciousness in whatever it is that you plan to do, that you're not limiting your opportunities for spontaneity or anything else. Like, give yourself enough room to enjoy the experience. And let's see, and don't take a ton of stuff just because you can. It's more enjoyable when you're not hauling around a whole lot of unnecessary gear.
Travel lightly.
Yes.
Great tips. So incredible. Your journey is really inspiring, and I'm definitely going to have to check out Heidi Across America.